The old house stood silent, a skeletal silhouette against the bruised twilight sky. Locals whispered tales of its former occupant, Elias Thorne, a recluse whose experiments delved into the forbidden. Tonight, a chilling fog, thick as a shroud, crept from the surrounding woods, swallowing the decaying structure whole. Curiosity, a dangerous companion, led me to its crumbling gates. The air grew heavy, tasting of damp earth and something else, something metallic and ancient. A faint, rhythmic thumping echoed from within, a sound that seemed to vibrate not just in the air, but in my very bones. Inside, dust motes danced in the slivers of moonlight piercing through grimy windows, illuminating grotesque shadows. The thumping grew louder, leading me deeper into the house's cold embrace. Each step on the creaking floorboards felt like a trespass, a violation of a long-forgotten peace. I found myself in what must have been Thorne's study, bookshelves lined with arcane texts, strange instruments glinting in the gloom, and a large, leather-bound journal lay open on a desk. The thumping now seemed to emanate from behind a heavy, bolted door at the far end of the room. My hand trembled as I reached for the journal. Thorne's frantic scrawl detailed his obsession, to bridge the veil between worlds, to glimpse what lies beyond. His final entries spoke of a key, a rhythm, and a presence that had begun to answer his call. The thumping intensified, now accompanied by a low, guttural moan. It was no longer just a sound. It was a pulse, a heartbeat from another dimension. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through my curiosity, urging me to flee. But a morbid fascination held me captive. I had to know. With a surge of adrenaline, I unlatched the bolts, the metallic screech echoing like a scream in the oppressive silence. The door creaked open, revealing an abyss of absolute darkness. From the darkness, two pinpricks of crimson light emerged, growing steadily larger, like eyes. The air grew impossibly cold, and a stench of decay and ozone filled my lungs. The thumping was now deafening, a monstrous drumbeat. A form began to coalesce within the void, indistinct at first, then horrifyingly clear. It was tall, gaunt, with limbs that seemed too long, too many. Its skin was like stretched parchment, and its head was a nightmare of twisted bone and shadow. It moved with an unnatural grace, each step accompanied by the sickening thud. Its gaze, those crimson pinpricks, locked onto mine, and I felt my sanity fraying at the edges. It was Thorne's presence, and it had found its way through. A whisper, dry and ancient, slithered into my mind, not through my ears, but directly into my thoughts. It spoke of hunger, of endless voids, and of a desire to consume all light, all life. I was merely an appetizer. I tried to scream, but no sound escaped my throat. My legs, rooted to the spot by an unseen force, refused to move. The creature raised a skeletal hand, its fingers impossibly long, tipped with razor-sharp talons, reaching for me. The last thing I saw before the darkness consumed me was the reflection of my own terror in those burning crimson eyes, a terror that mirrored the endless void from which it had come. The thumping continued, a final, chilling rhythm marking my end. And then, silence. Only the wind, whistling through the broken panes of the old house, carried the faint, rhythmic thumping, a sound that would forever haunt the edges of the fog-laden woods.